We are going to talk about how Jensen Ackles is the top choice to play Batman in the Brave and the Bold movie. So I mean the most popular possibility after Jensen Ackles was cast as Batman for Batman: The Long Halloween, a cartoon in which he voiced the infamous character, is that the possibility of another live-action Batman adaptation may be on the horizon for DC, with the supernatural actor as the star. Batman is an incredibly popular hero, and various iterations of the character have been around since the 60s. So it makes sense to give a sought-after role like this to such a well-loved actor with a very dedicated flock of fans behind him. The actor was previously offered another famous superhero role, and his superb performance in The Boys proves that Jensen Ackles would have made a great Hawkeye. But perhaps if the opportunity of playing Batman did arise, it would be his chance to redeem turning down the Avengers role, and still allow him to be a part of the comic book world of Marvel and DC, in a new and altogether unexpected way. There has been critique around recent attempts at reproducing the Batman in the 2022 Matt Reeves movie, starring Twilight's Robert Pattinson. Reviews of the film have been both positive and negative, and it has brought to light new potential avenues for the retelling of Bruce Wayne's story. The Batman sequel with Robert Pattinson was officially confirmed at CinemaCon, which goes to show that his version of the character must have been successful in many ways. But that doesn't necessarily mean there wouldn't be room for Ackles to create his own unique spin on the character, potentially one to add the Batman to wider DCU. After all, Ackles has all of the attributes that it takes to play the iconic character, from the chiseled good looks to the strong physique, the deep voice, and the emotional resonance with a character who comes from a dark past, as have many of the other characters he has played over the years. These things were only further reinforced by his voiceover in The Long Halloween, which demonstrated that he clearly has a particular affinity with the illustrious and troubled Mr. Wayne. What might be interesting regarding Ackles' desire to move away from the stereotypical macho roles he has played thus far would be a vastly different portrayal of Batman. Christian Bale's The Dark Knight trilogy set a precedent for Batman as a dark, mysterious and angry figure of vengeance seeking justice for the death of his parents. And Ben Affleck only added to this gruff and abrasive image that has long been perpetuated for the Caped Crusader. Perhaps offering Jensen the role in a DC series or movie would present a great opportunity for the supernatural actor to take the character in a more down-to-earth, open and vulnerable direction, which shows that men can still be just as strong and courageous without the need to be the most dominant and aggressive figure in the room. Maybe even returning to the good old days of the light-hearted Batman of the 60s, with the comical wham and pow speech bubbles iconic to the Adam West portrayal. A modern but layered version of the character that doesn't take itself too seriously could do wonders for the DC Universe's ratings. Despite Jensen's fab acting abilities, it may be called into question whether there really needs to be another Batman movie, especially so close to Robert Pattinson's take on the role. There's almost too many versions of the story to count, in comic book form, TV series, individual movies, and as part of the collective DC films like Justice League. There are undoubtedly worse parts in every movie, because the stories have been around for so long and can often come across as dated, overdone, and even comically bad. But it is a character that fans come back to over and over again, despite all of this. Where there is a DC following, there is always room for another Batman movie.